to President Biden's performance in last week's debate, which sparked calls by some Democrats for the president to drop out of the race. Rachel Scott is tracking it all for us from Washington. Good morning to you, Rachel.
Hey, Robin, good morning to you. President Biden is back at the White House today. His campaign is desperately trying to move past that debate performance, making calls to Democratic lawmakers and donors and rejecting any suggestion that the president should step aside. President Biden leaving Camp David after a weekend with his family, coming before the cameras to lay out what's at stake this election.
The American people must decide. They want to entrust the president once again, the presidency, to Donald Trump, now knowing he'll be even more emboldened to do whatever he pleases whenever he wants to do it.
The president not taking any questions, his campaign still trying to rebound after that debate performance. Democrats expressing concern. Senator Sheldon Whitehouse urging the president's advisors to be candid with the American people about his mental fitness in an interview with a local Rhode Island station.
People want to make sure that this is a campaign that's ready to go and win, that the president and his team are being candid with us about his condition.
Some Democrats now suggesting the president needs to do an interview or hold a press conference.
I expect that this will be moving forward for the president to reassure folks in the media, the general public, the many editorialists.
Bro, I'm not going to lie. This is, I'm cooked right now. This is the only water that they have in this fucking hotel room. And I don't think this 1967 communist Soviet era fucking hotel has room service. I might die. I might actually die. I'm so fucking parched. The tap water in Croatia is drinkable, fool. Bro, I don't know about that. Is it? I actually don't know. I mean, I probably will have to. I probably will have to inevitably drink it because otherwise I'm going to die. So, Uber Eats, brother, I don't think you understand. When I say I'm on a fucking island, I mean like literally, I'm on a fucking island, okay? There is no Uber Eats out here. There's no Uber Eats in Croatia in general. But I downloaded the Croatian Uber Eats, which is called like Voodoo or some shit. Glovo. There's two different Uber Eats out here. Glovo and Volt. Okay? Neither of which work on this fucking island. I already checked. I had the, yeah, wait, what? Brandon, ABC News announces George Stephanopoulos' exclusive first television interview with President Joe Biden since the debate. Wait, whoa. When is that coming out? When's that coming out? God damn, these guys are fucking dropping serious news skis, dude. Yo, chill, everybody. Chill. What is not Croatian is Finnish. Okay, well, it works in Croatia, so I don't give a shit what it is. Okay. Oh, a first look at the interview will air Friday, full interview Sunday per ABC. Oh, boo. It's not live. Okay, dude. Bro. Boo. Bro, they think an interview or a press conference will fix this. It's not a perception problem. It's an actual problem. I know. It is pretty funny to watch them desperately try to fucking salvage it, though. They're like, no. You don't understand. This guy is 100%. He's 100% with it, dude. Many people, we've heard you say, many people say he's a cadaver. Okay? Many people say he's dead. Those people are now Nancy Pelosi and Jim Clyburn, actually. So we don't know what to do anymore. We don't know what to do. Biden's about to go on a COPE tour. Yeah, good luck. Good luck to Brandon. Good luck to America. We are so fucking cooked, boys. Anyway, not as cooked as those who are unsubscribed at the top of the hour, though, because Dems cooked us, man. Oh, yeah. Well, when have Dems not cooked us? Let's be real. Oh, Lord, grant me a gifted sub. Yeah, if the Lord can't save you, then use your fucking Twitch Prime, baby. It's free. Like I said, here is the 3-minute Ad break now. Anyway. God is dead. I'm stuck in ads now. Is it illegal to leave the Balkans without trying Javapi? Watch out. Okay, bro. I will have Javapi before I leave. I promise you. Okay. Yeah, I assumed this interview is going to be happening during Biden's good hours. Well, you assumed right.
And others who've expressed concern by doing unscripted, casual engagements.
Sources tell ABC News the president's family is actively encouraging him to stay in the race. The Biden campaign trying to reassure Democrats and donors. Just last night, speaking to 500 fundraisers.
Joe Biden has never been a show horse. He's always been a workhorse.
He's never been a show horse. He's been a pony. It's a dog and pony show. I don't know what's going on. I'm Jim Clyburn. I'm also 90 years old. Have you guys noticed that I'm old as shit too? Send both of their asses to the glue factory, okay? Everybody's old in the lineup, dude. What the fuck's going on? What is happening, dude? Please bring forward one person that is not 811 years old, okay? This is craziness. This is madness. What the fuck's happening? It's time for some term limits for the Democrats only. Fuck it. Let the Republicans be as old as they want. Institute age limits for the motherfucking Democrats. Okay, please. Hold on. All right. Here's who should replace Brandon. Okay, hold on. Let's keep going.
Kentucky's popular governor, Andy Beshear, even leaving the door open to someone else being at the top of the ticket.
It was a very bad night for the president, but he is still the candidate. Only he can make decisions about his future candidacy. So as long as he continues to be in the race, I support him.
Another Senator, Peter Welch from Vermont, this morning calling out the Biden campaign for having what he calls a dismissive attitude for those expressing concerns, saying that it's inappropriate. The Biden campaign now says that they brought in $127 million this month, but some Democrats telling me they want to see the president get back out there, take questions at a town hall or at a press conference, George.
They also want to see fresh polls on where things stand. Okay, Rachel, thanks very much.
Joe Biden is attempting to use the monumental Supreme Court ruling on presidential power to warn about the dangers of a second Trump presidency. But in this crucial first week after the debate, the president's delivery was just as focused as his words.
Bro, I love that the metric for Brandon is like, well, people are giving me money still. Like, y'all keep saying I'm old, but I keep raising money, and it's like, oh, okay, I guess that's fine then. Like, what are we doing here? What's happening here? What's going on? They gave him a spray tan to look less like a ghost. Oh my God, you're not wrong. This motherfucker got a spray tan. You know his ass didn't sit out in the sunlight. He'd perish. Oh my God. He's pulling a Trump strat, dude. Oh my God. He went from orange man bad to I'm orange too. That's crazy. Dude, this is so awesome. We just have our own Trump. Like, it's great. It's fun to see the Democrats basically cope with the notion that, like, we have our very own. Like, and they're behaving exactly like the Republicans are, so it's great. Blue and on, baby.
No one is above the law, not even the President of the United States. With today's Supreme Court decision on presidential immunity, that fundamentally changed. For all practical purposes, today's decision almost certainly means that there are virtually no limits on what a president can do. This is a fundamentally new principle, and it's a dangerous precedent because the power of the office will no longer be constrained by the law, even including the Supreme Court of the United States.
Of course, it all comes down to what the voters think. CNN's David Chalian is here to break it down. Show us the numbers from this new poll.
Yeah, this was fielded entirely after our debate, as you noted. And I think there are some data points in here that the Biden campaign will use to try and push back on some of this Democratic concern. And I think there are some data points in here that those elected officials and donors who are concerned about Biden moving forward will use to push back on the president. Take a look overall at the state of the race in our brand new poll. 49% Donald Trump, 43% Joe Biden. This is a 6-point lead, Dana, and this is unchanged. Changed since our last poll in April. In fact, it's been a remarkably consistent race with Joe Biden trailing Donald Trump just outside the margin of error for quite some time. If you look back in our trend here, you see it was identical in April, 49-43. You see nothing has really changed since last August. By last fall, this race has kind of...
Guys, I'm new to this political stuff. Is this good? I can't tell. It's got to be, right? This is good, right? It's just funny because, like, his team keeps saying, look at the polls, like, look at the momentum. It's shifting. Yeah, bro, it's shifting away from you. Like, that's what his team has been coping with. Where it's like, well, in the states that do matter, like, Biden is actually starting to pick up some steam. And it's like, no, dog, he's losing it, okay? The momentum is in the opposite direction that you would want it to be. What is happening?
into place.
That's remarkable to look at that, even just from April to now. Exactly the same.
Identical. And the Biden campaign will say to folks, see, the debate didn't change the state of the race. Of course, when you're 6 points down, you kind of needed the debate to change the state of the race. I
need you guys to understand something. Given the way that the Electoral College works, given the way that the House of Representatives is slanted, Democrats have to be winning by 5 points to actually win the Electoral College. Okay? Not losing, winning by like at least 3 points, but a comfortable margin of victory by 5. I don't know if you guys know this, but the most populous states are blue. So, like, you know, across the board, like, it doesn't reflect well on the polling when you're looking at a 49. When you're looking at this kind of point difference between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. It's okay, though. He's raising money, baby. Let's go. Wait, what? Okay, they're throwing. Hunter Biden has joined the White House meetings as he stays close to the president post-debate. No, they're throwing. Bro, they're throwing. That's crazy. The number one defense for Hunter Biden has been he has no business in the White House. Like, up until this moment, you could very clearly point to, the fuck do you mean Hunter Biden's laptop? He doesn't do shit. He's just like, yeah, he's cool. He's sick. He's just smoking crack and stuff. Who gives a fuck? Now he's in the White House? Dude, are they just... Bro, okay, I'm sorry. White nativist immigration, wanting to build a border wall, now looking suspiciously orange, bringing his fucking fail son into the White House. Is this Donald Trump? Bro, are you copying all of his worst habits? Like, what's happening? Copy the good shit. What is happening right now? He's just like, yeah, that's right. My opponent is Donald Trump. Everybody likes him. That's why I'm going to be Donald Trump myself. What's going on here? Even the White House senior aides are confused. Yeah, no shit, dude. I'd be like, what the fuck is this crackhead doing in here? Unless he's here to give daddy the good crack so we can fucking be a dynamo again, get this get this dipshit out of here. What do you mean? Like, I think that like Hunter Biden is like illegally, I don't know, improperly abusing his relationship with his dad or whatever for like Ukraine? No. For Burisma? No. But I do think this is really bad. It's a really bad look. It's a really bad look when your son is now officially, you know, he's got some gun charges. He's been plastered all over the media. He's like public enemy number one. Why the fuck are you bringing him around? What is happening here? Optically speaking, this is an unimaginably bad move. Because now you give credence to the Hunter Biden conspiracies. All of a sudden, there's weight to the statements. Not to say that it's real. I'm not saying it's real at all. But at least there's more weight to it if he's in the fucking White House. Why would you ever go around him? Like, why would you ever be around him? Not even invite him to the White House. Like, don't even be around your son. You're running for re-election, dumbass. The fuck is this shit? Things are getting very weird in the Democratic Party. Remember when I told you guys this is like the most boring election cycle so far, but it has the capacity to be the most interesting one? These are like moves that are happening in that direction a little bit. Like I told you from the start, like this is a very predictable, very boring election cycle. You know both the candidates. Nobody likes a rerun. And it turns out the rerun is crazy, okay? Or at least it's starting to be crazy. I don't know.
About what was locked in here. So 65% of the electorate say their mind is made up. If your mind is made up in this poll, you're splitting 53% for Trump, 45% for Biden. However, 31% of voters in the poll say they are movable. Either they don't have a first choice or they're not locked in. They're willing to move off of who they're saying their choice is right now. 31% of the electorate's movable. They split more evenly. 39% for Trump, 37% for Biden. Obviously, Joe Biden needs to be working on this movable crowd of nearly a third of the electorate, whether those that don't have a choice or actually with Trump right now, but could move to improve his standing.
And talk about what is driving the voters on these numbers.
This is going to be welcome news to Biden because the race is still largely about Donald Trump as the motivating factor, right? Even after the debate. This is among Biden supporters.
Bro, this was the same energy in 2020, except like there were less people that were, there was still a significant number of people who was like, Biden sucks shit, but like, at least he's not Trump and I'm trying to get him the fuck out of office. This time it's a rerun and there's a lot more people who are like, honestly, he's not going to get the job done. Like that is a dire situation, okay? If your whole shtick is like, I'm not Trump, I'm the man to get Trump out of office, and you run on that, and you win a contested primary, even though you got a lot of fucking help from Barack Hussein Obama, right? Even if all that happens, ultimately, like, you know, a shit ton of people still voted in the primaries, and they voted for you, and you became the conclusive nominee. You are not the incumbent in that situation for 4 years, and 75% of the party is like, yo, you got to drop out. And that's fucking 2 years ago. Okay? Nowadays, you can't do the rerun of 2020 with just like, well, people are just anti-Trump. There are plenty of people who are anti-Trump. That much is still true. And that is a major motivator for why people are voting for the Democratic Party, why people are voting for Biden. But when you look at the numbers, it's clearly not enough. It's just very bad. It's just very bad strategy overall, in my opinion.
Dana, what would your vote be more to vote against Trump or for Biden? 63% say against Trump, 37% say for Biden. And I will say this 37 is actually a slight improvement for Biden, where a bit more of his voters are saying they're actually voting for him. But overall, the thrust for Biden supporters is they want to vote against Trump, not for Biden. It's the complete reversal for Trump supporters. 2/3 of Trump supporters are casting their ballot for Donald Trump. 34% say they're casting.
Hey guys, is this good? Is this good for Biden? I can't tell because it seems like it's not. I mean, this has always been the case, by the way, for the record. This was how it was last time around too. People just love Trump. It is what it is.
Casting against Joe Biden. Again, we see a slight uptick here for Trump among those voting for him, too. So we're seeing both Trump and Biden sort of consolidate.
They're talking like it's good. Yeah, good for Trump.
Their fellow partisans.
What about the debate performance? Let's talk about that because we really want to know what voters thought and whether the debate performance actually impacted how they perceive Joe Biden.
Yeah, I mean, overall in this poll, we see that people say Donald Trump won the debate. We saw that in our instant poll on the night of the debate among.
Leaked polling from Democratic data firm OpenLab shows Biden sinking in battleground states and putting states like Virginia, New Hampshire, and New Mexico in play for Trump. And now Harris, Whitmer, Newsom, and Pete outpolling him in swing states. Biden plunges in swing states in leaked post-debate poll. Also, for the first time, he's polling behind Kamala Harris. Oh, my Lord. Oh, come on, dude. I'm not going to fucking subscribe to Puck. Like, just give me the fucking article for free, Peter Hamby. What the hell are we doing? Fucking Snapchat Andy over here, like, forcing my ass to buy a subscription? Like, what are we doing? To the Puck? Dude, what is going on, dude? Every time you motherfuckers send me a new link, it's like another dog shit new thing that Biden has said. Dude, I swear to God, I logged on today and I was like, what are we going to talk about today? Maybe we'll talk about Biden. And you guys have been like, hey, dude, here's a Democrat that's saying Biden should drop out. Hey, oh my God, Nancy Pelosi just came out and said, yeah, I take back everything I said. Oh my God, Jim Clyburn came out and said, yeah, actually, Biden's old as dirt, maybe even older. Hey, check out this tweet. Here's Biden saying he doesn't want to fucking actually reform the Supreme Court and he thinks it's awesome. Hey, dude, check out this new tweet. Biden says he actually fucking wants every American to die. He's actually going to personally send every American to fucking Gaza. Okay? Like what are the political instincts of this dinosaur and the people surrounding him? What is going on? It's like, are you trying to step on every fucking landmine? You have unironic momentum in this direction. Use it to your advantage. Like, talk about the Supreme Court sucking ass. And he's like, yeah, no, Jack, the Supreme Court is great. It's literally historically the most unpopular. Supreme Court has, I don't think ever in its history been this unpopular by the broader American electorate. I do not understand why you wouldn't just shit on them. Like, what are you doing? Even if you're not going to do anything, just like lean into it, man. What the fuck is happening? What is this guy doing? I don't understand it. Here's the leaked polling. Per Puck News, leaked Dem internal polling from Open Labs. Pre-debate margin. Post-debate margin. Minnesota, pre-debate margin 2.4, post-debate 0.4. Margin dropped 2%. Dude, he dropped in every fucking swing state, in every key state in general. Oh my God, look at Pennsylvania, 5.1 to minus 7.3. Is this good? Guys, is this good? The funniest part about this entire process is that, like, Biden is not exactly this, like, charismatic figure, right? He's not like an ideological titan and therefore has automatically, like, people rushing to his defense to be like, no, he's got to finish his agenda. He's got to finish the job. He's not like a Chavez type. You know what I'm saying? He is, by definition, a political demon who very openly has tried to fucking hammer the center every time. When you do that, just like Macron, you are not going to have any kind of fucking serious loyalty beyond like Mika Brzezinski and Joe Scarborough. Okay? He's not a cult of personality like Donald Trump is. And he's got no tangible political motivations that you can, like a broader political project that you can point to be like, no, he's got to finish the job, even though he's like kind of unpopular. That's still our guy. Like, we got to keep going after it. Like with Bernie, right? Bernie Sanders, love him, hate him, doesn't matter. Like, that man has a very clear agenda, right? So even if he was like tanking to a certain degree in the polls, obviously, like, he would still have, in a very Trump style way, a solid amount, a solid base of support. Brandon's base of support is non-existent beyond the fact that he's simply not Trump. He's running against Donald Trump, right? So for that reason, when the veil is lifted and all of a sudden, the guy whose only singular aspect that people voted for him in 2020 was that he was not Trump and he was going to beat Trump, and then he beat Trump. When that falls apart, when people no longer think he can beat Trump, it's over. What have you got? You have nothing left. You literally have nothing left at that point. It's so bad. I don't think people understand how bad this is. So he can fucking paint himself orange and like yell at a teleprompter in every district in Pennsylvania, but that's not really going to change the outcome, because 50 million people watched that debate and billions of dollars of news commentary has occurred since then for the past week and a half. And every single piece of news that came out, even from his likely allies, has been, yeah, he's got to go. He's got to go. We can't do this. He's got to fucking go. It's so bad.
Weight Watchers, that's true broadly with the electorate. But take a look at these numbers, and this is going to keep the conversation going inside the Democratic Party. Nearly 3/4 of American voters say someone else, not Joe Biden, would give Democrats their best chance if they were at the top of the ticket. Only 25% of voters say Joe Biden gives Democrats their best chance of winning in November. And take a look at these numbers.
Oh, no. Wait, hold on. Is this good? Guys, I'm new to this politics thing. Is this good? I can't tell. Democrats' chances better if nominee is amongst registered voters. 25% say Democrats' chances are better with Joe Biden. 75% say someone else.
Chance if they were at the top of the ticket. Only 25% of voters say Joe Biden gives Democrats their best chance of winning in November. And take a look at these numbers. Joe Biden's approval rating is down to 30.
Normally, you'd have some annoying ass fucking liberal Democratic Party defenders in here being like, no, you're so stupid. Like, you just want Joe Biden to lose. Why the fuck do you keep criticizing him? But if you've noticed, there's like only one or two people that have actually chirped in here over the course of the past week and a half. That's how you know shit ain't sweet right now, okay? Like when you got the institution defenders not really chirping in the chat when I say like Brandon needs to fucking drop out if the Democrats want to win anything, like, and I'm not getting any fucking chirpers. Shit, dude. That ain't good. Seemingly. That 12-year-old Harry TikTok, that 12-year-old TikToker Harry Sisson, my goat, he's still riding with Biden. Well, you know. He's one guy. I don't know if that's going to work.
6% in this poll. That is his lowest approval rating of his entire presidency in CNN polling. His lowest number nearly 4 months out from the election. That's not welcome news for any incumbent. And we tested what would it look like if Vice President Kamala Harris was in a matchup against Donald Trump and not Joe Biden. And the vice president actually does a little bit better against Trump than Joe Biden does.
That's the word. That dude, that's it. It's over. This is the final draw. No, it's done. Dude, when you got charisma suck, the charisma black hole, Kamala Harris, polling better than Joseph Robinette Brandon, that's crazy, dude. Biden, you need to step aside. Let Kamala handle it, okay? That or you're a white supremacist. Choose one. Okay? K-Hive, we're on the up and up. It's her turn, K-Hive. That's not good. I know. I mean, I think if there's one person, there's like two people that would still probably put this election in like contested territory. And that's Kamala Harris and Hillary Clinton. And I'm not kidding when I say the Democratic Party would probably put Hillary Clinton in that slot. I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you. That's such a Democratic Party move to just be like, oh yeah, let's put Hillary Clinton back on the ticket. It'll work this time. People make jokes about here's how Bernie can still win, but like that's literally Hillary Clinton. She stays playing that role. Please don't manifest this. I'm sorry, it's over. I'm not saying psych. It's most likely going to happen.
The race within margin of error, no clear leader. Donald Trump at 47, Kamala Harris at 45%. We also tested Gavin Newsom, Pete Buttigieg, Gretchen Whitmer. You see here, those Democrats, they kind of perform like Joe Biden.
Yeah, the difference is they don't have Joe Biden's name recognition. Okay? So that in and of itself is a fucking benefit because the $127 million in campaign funds that Brandon just raised would be great to pump names out there like a new person that you put in that slot, okay? Rather than the name that everybody knows. Joe Biden, everyone knows who fucking Joe Biden is. He's the incumbent. He's been in politics for 800 years, okay? What's more ads gonna do? Whereas, like, when you poll someone like Pete Buttigieg, Gavin Newsom, Gretchen Whitmer, they don't have the same name recognition that Joe Biden does. Now, for everyone in this chat, you're like, what do you mean? I know all these candidates. I know all these fucking politicians. It's like, yeah, dude, because you're here. You're a fucking political autist, okay? Like, you're listening to a guy who ran around a fucking Croatian island so that he could talk about politics for 5 fucking hours in a dark hotel room, okay? We like, obviously this is not a normal situation. The average person though, like normal people who are, I don't know, still doing Hawk Tua memes or whatever the fuck, they don't know who the fuck any of these people are. They forgot who Pete Buttigieg is. They don't know who Gavin Newsom or Gretchen Whitmer is. at all. So, yeah, for those people, obviously, this is a game changer if there's like a shit ton of momentum behind them, if they become the new candidate. Anyway.
Trump is beating them right now outside the margin of error. Only Kamala Harris in this poll of these Democrats tested is getting this race within the margin of error, Dana.
All right, David. Poof, I'm over here now. We'll see you here in a minute. Thank you so much for all of that very, very interesting reporting from our poll. Let's talk about more about all of this with my great group of reporters, the Washington Post's Yasmin Abutaleb, CNN's Eva McCann, and Olivier Knox of U.S. News. Again, David will be here in a moment. Olivier, I want to start with you. Your sort of takeaway from these numbers that David just revealed.
Well, I have two thoughts. So the first is I have not seen the Democratic Party this agitated and in this much of a panic since 19.
After the worst performance of his career in his worst news cycle, Biden didn't drop at all from CNN's previous poll. Like, what are we doing here?
1998, early 1998.
Yeah, because those people, if you didn't look at the other previous fucking CNN poll, those people are like, I don't give a shit. I'm voting out Donald Trump. 67%. If you noticed, all of those other name recognition lacking candidates also still poll around the same fucking around the same points as Biden. Why? Nobody knows who the fuck Pete Buttigieg is, bro. If you asked 10 Americans, if you asked 100 Americans right now, what cabinet position Pete Buttigieg has, they'd be like, what is a Pete Buttigieg? The fuck are you talking about? It's like these guys are polling with the same percentages that Biden is for that reason, because these guys are like, because there's a base of support in the Democratic Party, and it's 67% of Democratic Party voters that want to vote against Donald Trump, and only like 30+% that want to vote for Biden. Okay? This is, that's the reason. That's the reason why they're polling around the same percentage right now.
When the Lewinsky scandal erupted.
Wow.
And we saw prominent Democrats saying that Bill Clinton should resign, right? That didn't happen, and Democrats did just fine in those midterms that year. The second thought I have is that we really should be polling the 4 or so states that are actually going to decide this election. If 24, yeah, I'm sure you will, but if 24 goes the way 20 and 16 went, we're talking about tens of thousands of voters in a handful of states. And so my theory of the case is that literally any issue can swing this election.
I think that this is certainly instructive, but I think the most telling thing.
People are saying Democratic convention battleground between many candidates will be a possible detrimental to the Dems' reelection, but I just don't think throwing Kamala out there would be a good idea at all. Yeah, that's why they should do what they fucking used to do, which is backroom shit. Just like select a fucking candidate that you think is the best goddamn candidate and put him forward. Hopefully it's not Hillary Clinton, okay? Yeah, Democrats need to be fucking united on this issue. It's so stupid. I genuinely think that it's the best idea. A contested primary where there's like a bunch of different people going at each other's throats is probably going to hurt the Democratic Party's chances. But like a new successor that you just pick is probably the best way to go. Be like, this is the guy. Find the one with the least amount of fucking negatives and just let him ride.
Really to be continuing to talk to voters. Mm-hmm. I was in conversation with some of them this weekend. There was a rally here in DC in support of low-wage workers. And I thought that there would be more pushback after the debate performance. I thought that they would raise issues with a whole number of things concerning President Biden, because this is really the left flank of the coalition. And instead, it was the exact opposite. They really rallied around him. They said that all of the response was not fair. They seem to take a really pragmatic response to all of this and say, listen, he's ultimately going to be our nominee. The alternative is former President Trump, and we're going to stand by him through this difficult period.
David, do you want to? I'm going to move on to some of the things that are going on in the Democratic Party with regard to the debate. But is there anything else that you really want to emphasize, your big picture takeaway from everything you just gave us?
Well, I think the biggest thing here is Joe Biden is not on track to win this race right now, and he needed a debate performance that was going to upend the trajectory of the race. That did not happen here. I mean, inside these numbers of him being 6 points down from Donald Trump is that he's down 10 points among independent voters. Obviously, that was not the case 4 years ago when he won the race nationally by 4 percentage points. So if this is what the result is, that would be, a 10-point swing in the other direction. It's notable that Kamala Harris's performance with independent voters in this poll, she's almost even with Trump. Biden's 10 points down with independent voters.
All right, so I mentioned I want to talk about kind of what's going on behind the scenes with regard to Democrats and the Biden campaign, and something that went from behind the scenes to on TV this morning, which is an interview with our colleague Casey Hunt. Mike Quigley, the congressman, said the following.
His 4 years are, one of the great presidencies of our lifetime. But I think he has to be honest with himself. This is a decision he's going to have to make. He clearly has to understand, I think what you're getting to here is that his decision not only impacts who's going to serve in the White House the next 4 years, but who's going to serve in the Senate, who's going to serve in the House, and it will have implications for decades to come. It's his decision. I just want him to appreciate at this time just how much it impacts not just his race, but all the other races coming in November.
Now, what's notable about that isn't what he said. It's that he said it in public. We have all talked to people who have said that and much more in private, but they have been kept at bay by the Biden campaign. He decided he wanted to say that publicly.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is really what has the potential to maybe swing the conversation in a more public way from sort of pundits and columnists to more Democratic elected officials who may start to call for there to be another nominee. Is if polls, the Biden campaign will point to polls like today's to say it didn't change the race. I think that's a bit of a problem because, like David said, that they needed to change the dynamics of the race. Being 6 points down is not an especially strong argument, but if polls show that Senate candidates, House candidates are now at risk of losing their races more than they were before because they're being dragged down by Biden. And this was a concern well before the debate that a lot of people didn't want to, in tough districts and tough states, didn't want to campaign with Biden, didn't want to appear at events with him. If now it looks like Democrats are at a bigger risk of not being able to flip the House, losing the Senate, then I think that could really start to change the public conversation.
This just in, multiple Democratic sources confirmed to Fox News that Democratic governors yesterday held a call to discuss the latest developments regarding President Biden's 2024 re-election campaign in the wake of the president's extremely rough performance in Thursday's debate with former President Donald Trump. Now, the call was organized by Democratic Governors Association, DGA Chair Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota. Sources familiar with the call described it as a forum where the governors could discuss what was going on with Biden, but that there was no serious talk of urging the president to step aside. One source characterized it as a gripe session. Sources also tell us that the Biden campaign was aware of the call ahead of time. From a national Democratic official familiar with the call, quote, Democratic governors are some of the president and vice president's most proactive and vocal supporters because they've seen how the Biden-Harris administration's accomplishments are directly benefiting their residents. The Biden-Harris team is in constant communication with the governors and their teams, including about yesterday's meeting. News of the call was first reported about 90 minutes ago by CNN's Jake Tapper. Kaylee, I want to get your thoughts on that. What say you about, let's take the response about how there's always the communication and they're in great standing. What do you note about this call?
It's inconceivable to me. I mean, former President Trump, I was around him a lot after 2 debates. I was around him after events. He was constantly picking up the phone and calling allies, governors, senators, congressmen. And the notion that you've had a disastrous debate performance, widely panned.
It is pretty wild, dude. He's not even going up the ranks and just being like, everybody shut the fuck up. Don't talk shit. I'm good. I'm with it. My dick still hangs low. My bitch is bad. Have you seen Jill Biden? I got this. That's crazy.
And by CNN, by MSNBC, by your allies, by Joe Scarborough, that you wouldn't pick up the phone and call governors? I mean, why not is the question. Is he, number one, too stubborn? Is he, number two, unable to call them? I mean, those are the questions that come to mind because it makes no sense. The only thing I would postulate is maybe there's more going on behind the scenes than we know. Maybe he is really considering stepping aside. Maybe that explains why you wouldn't call the governors. That's the only thing I can postulate.
And Lisa, another interesting thing to note as well. So as we mentioned, it was organized by Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota, but who also appeared on this network to defend Biden post-debate. So what say you about him being the organizer behind this call?
Well, I just want to say real quick, in looking at these images of Joe Biden, I finally agree with the sentiment, orange man bad. So just want to put that on there. Look, I've had bad spray tans too, so, you know, it happened. Okay, but anyway, all right.
Yo, come on, bro. I feel gross right now. I feel icky. I feel yucky. It's like, you don't get to say that because you say orange man good. Like, that's my thing. I get to say that because I shit on Trump all the time. You can't fucking turn around and be like, orange man bad. Look at his spray tan. It's like, you can't be Uno reversing when your guy is the guy originally, okay? You can't do that. Like, how are you going to dick ride Trump into oblivion and turn around and just be like, yeah, actually, it's kind of whack that Joe Biden got a spray tan. Have you seen your guy? Like, what is happening here?
So, you know, look, I am loving watching this implosion from the left because the media, the left, they're all content with lying to us about Joe Biden's condition until he wobbled on the stage and America saw what is actually happening, the mental vacancy that is Joe Biden. I will say, I think Republicans need to expand the line of attack beyond Joe Biden's age. The country is falling apart, not because Joe Biden is 81, but because of Democrats' policies. Look at California, for instance.
Oh my, she said California. That's awesome. Yo, this is like the new meta where they're like, hey, by the way, now that we're done pouncing on Joe Biden, a reminder that, like, it's actually the Democratic Party's policies that is the reason why Joe Biden sucks. Okay? That's just objectively untrue. The Democrats are doing pretty fucking good in spite of Biden. It's just ridiculous.
I guarantee Gavin Newsom was on that phone call. He's 56 years old. California has some of the highest taxes in the nation, yet they have a multi-billion-dollar budget deficit, the highest unemployment as well. You look at the homeless crisis, the crime crisis.
Gavin Newsom runs on reversing every Ronald Reagan policy, including increasing the top marginal tax rate back to 70%. Wins by Reagan numbers. I'm just saying. Live White House taking questions on calls for Joe
As
Biden
you
to
all
step
know,
down.
and many of you reached out during.
Oh God, she's the absolute worst person to deal with this. Oh, she's so bad. She's so fucking bad at her job. Oh my God. It's already a tough job to begin with, but goddamn.
He knows how to do the job. And he knows how to do the job. Not
I gotta
because
fucking,
he says
I'm
it,
drinking,
because
I'm
his
gonna
record
drink
proves
tap
it.
water.
Because
I'm gonna fucking
for
pull
3.5 years, almost 4 years, the president's record has been unprecedented.
I'm about to drink
delivering
Croatian
for
tap
the
water.
American people.
Let's see
Another
how this
thing that
goes.
he said that I would add is he knows right from wrong. He knows how to tell the truth. And again, he knows how to deliver for the American people. Joe Biden is a person, take away his title. He is someone who has dealt with tragedy. He is someone who has confronted that head on. He is someone who knows how to get back up once you've been knocked down. That is something that he understands very, very well. And I think, and we believe, that's something that many of Americans across the country understand as well. And he knows how to come back. He knows how to come back. And so the president's going to continue to focus on what he's been doing the past 3.5 years. He's going to continue to focus on the American people. And, you know, to your question, just to add a little bit more to your question, look, you heard from Speaker Pelosi, you heard from Representative Clyburn, and let me just paraphrase a little bit of what they said. Speaker Pelosi, who's very close to the president, said it is not about performance in terms of a debate. It's about performance in a presidency. And this is a president, you've heard me say this, we've talked about this. He's been able to give us an economic recovery, the strongest economic recovery in modern history. Let's not forget, during the midterms of 2022, many people, many of you all, some of you in this room, said that it was going to be a red wave, and that didn't happen. He defeated Big Pharma. We have seen historic low in crime, in more than down to 50-year low. And then you had Representative Clyburn, who said the president has done a great job leading for the last 3.5 years. The best predictor of future behavior is past performance. This is from Clyburn. And when you look at the record of President Biden versus former President Trump, you see President Biden, who has delivered the strongest recovery in modern history, versus the previous administration, whose plans hurts the middle class. And President Biden, who is committed to protecting our fundamental freedoms, versus the former.
Let's see how this goes, okay? I'm also doing a kettle situation because I need some coffee. Are you ready for this? I'm about to try Croatian tap water. Okay, it's fucking gross.
The former president, the previous administration, doing everything that they could, and they did, to overturn Roe v. Wade, and they are responsible for that. And that's coming from two people who are not just leaders in Congress, but also close to the president.
I think part of the problem that Democrats are articulating is that it wasn't just that he had a cold, but rather he had, answers. He was trailing off. He didn't answer some questions in a sort of fulsome way. And speaking of Nancy Pelosi, one of the things that she recently said was that it was a legitimate question whether his performance was an episode or a condition. So I guess I wondered if there's been any consideration given to releasing a more robust set of medical records.
This vacation sucks, man. Yo, you're telling me, dude.
This, look, and again, I get the question. It is a fair question to ask. We are not taking that away, and that's why the president certainly has spoken to this. As it relates to his medical records, we have been transparent. We have released thorough reports from his medical team every year since he's been in office. That is something that we have been pretty consistent about. As it relates to, something like a cognitive test, to the question that you're asking me about what the former speaker said. Obviously, she can speak for herself. His team, who has said, the medical team said it is not warranted in this case. We have put forward a thorough, transparent annual report on his health. So they have said that is not warranted. It is not necessary. Again, we understand. We're not taking away from what you all saw or what the American people saw. We understand. It was a bad night. It is not uncommon for incumbents to have a bad night on their first debate. And we are going to continue to do the work that we have been doing on behalf of the American people. I think the president record certainly speaks for itself.
Thank you, Corinne. You just reminded us that President Biden had a cold on Thursday. What medications was he taking in the days or hours leading up to the debate?
And I know that question has come in a couple of times to us. He was not taking any cold medication.
Was he taking any medication that would have interfered with his
He was not
performance?
taking any cold medication. That is what I can speak to. I've asked his doctor, and that's what he stated to us.
Bro, I just saw fucking TripAdvisor. I Googled it. Our tour is not aware that tap water is drinkable in Croatia. But then I saw another one where I input the island that I'm on, and I was like, can I drink the fucking water, the tap water in the islands? And it says like, no, you know, it's not. It says, being an island, it is not great to drink the tap water. We alternated between having some tap water and having bottled water, and we're okay. One of the related questions is, can English people drink tap water in Croatia? Why English people specifically? Islands usually don't have infrastructure in mainland Europe to drink the water. Do you drink the tap water in America? Fuck no, dude. Are you kidding me? Abso-fucking-lutely not. I don't trust that shit at all. I'm gonna be honest with you. I trust Croatian island tap water more than I trust American tap water. Okay, y'all are crazy. I know New York City tap water. Yeah, okay, fine. One place. I'm not talking about New York City. I'm talking about LA. Anyway, real rich guy shit. Yeah. Yeah, it's called, I don't want fucking bacteria in my body. Make a vlog out of the experience. I shit my pants in Croatia for 7 fucking days type shit. I couldn't even fly back home because it was explosive diarrhea, having explosive diarrhea attacks. Croatian scientists put me in a fucking laboratory to study my asshole because they were like, this is the most anyone's ever shit out. Fill the bottle with kettle water. It will be good then. Yeah, but it's fucking boiling at that point.
After the debate, did the president get examined by a doctor, or did he get a neurological scan?
A neurological scan? Look, what I can say is that, just to take a step back, it was a bad night. We understand that it was a bad night. And the president has spoken to this. And he understands that. And so I cannot speak to anything beyond what I just shared. The president has regular annual physicals that we release in a thorough report. We're going to continue to do that. I don't have anything else beyond that.
So was the last time he was seen by a doctor then in February?
I just don't have anything beyond that, beyond the question of a neurological exam.
Okay, well, you continue to say it was just a bad night, but is there an explanation then for why it was so bad? If it's not his stamina, if he prepared, as you guys say, for so long, if it's not a problem with his mental fitness, what happened that night? What did we see?
I will also add that the president also spoke to this as well. He said, I'm not as smooth as I used to be. I don't debate as well as I used to. I don't walk as easily as I used to. But one thing that he knows is how to deliver for the American people. He understands that. He understands that he's not a young man, obviously. He said this. But his focus is going to continue to deliver for the American people on the issues that they care about: the economy, expanding health care, fighting for Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, making sure that we
the president knows he sucks, okay?
Stage, which is something that
quit
this
asking.
Has been able.
It's like the president already addressed this, okay? He said he sucks shit. He said he's ass. He already addressed that he sucks. He already addressed that nobody likes him. Please stop asking about this. What the fuck? I thought we addressed all this.
To do. And
What kind of
turn-
luggage is that? It's a Pelican case for my remote stream setup. Yeah. The president will be serving the 3-minute ad break at the top of the hour. He has not lost a step. Many people are saying the president is soon to have a birthday and become 33. And that he's not as fast as he used to be. Okay? Sometimes his back hurts. Sometimes he drinks Croatian tap water and shits his pants. Okay? That's what people are saying. But at the top of the hour, he's still serving them 3-minute ad breaks. Do you understand? And if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. Okay? Turkey just scored on Austria. Let's go, baby. One minute in. Wait, for real, or did it just start? Like, how is that possible? They scored 1 minute in? Damn, dude. They're punishing Austria for what Austria did to the Ottoman Empire, dude. They stopped us at the gates of Vienna once, not twice, okay? It will never happen again. Yeah, Justice Merchant delays Trump's New York sentencing until September. We'll talk about that in a second.
Turn around the mess that this last administration created, as certainly on not just domestically, but on the world stage. Okay.
Is anyone in the White House hiding information about the president's health or his ability to do the job day to day?
Absolutely not.
Given the fact that it's more than a bad night when his political future is threatened, would he be willing to provide more medical information? Would he be willing to have Dr. O'Connor provide more to answer these questions?
Look, Kelly, certainly understand the question, appreciate the question, but what we have provided has been very transparent.
But it's
has
not
been
recent.
has
And
been
the country watched.
But February was this year. It wasn't too long ago. It was indeed this year, and we provided transparent report, a thorough
There were
report.
many Americans who were concerned about his capacity. Was he okay? What happened? And we've now gone several days where he has only done teleprompter comments. He has not taken questions. I know you've announced a press conference.
Yeah.
We appreciate that. An interview. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
But there is a period of time here where the public is trying to understand what happened. And
See, the thing about dementia and being old is that time fixes it. Time fixes this problem. More time. That's what he needs. You know what I'm saying? Like, surely that's the one thing that'll help him here.
the president could help to answer that by engaging with us in an unscripted way right now.
So let me just say a couple.
Stolen joke from Felix. I will literally force feed you Croatian tap water for the rest of your fucking bitch ass life if you say some shit like that, okay? I've been making that goddamn joke. For literally months now. Months. You motherfuckers watch one Chapo episode where they make the same fucking joke, and they're my friends, okay? They're my friends. I love them. But I've been saying this shit for fucking months. Not even months, years. Suck my dick, chatters. All you've done is basically demonstrate you watched a Chapo episode and you heard similar takes. So it's like I must have taken it from them. Are you accusing the Chapo lad of stealing from me? No. It's like the most obvious fucking joke to make.
There's a couple of things that you said that I do want to address. Number one, hours, I don't know, less than an hour after the debate, he went and he engaged directly with the American people, right? He went to a watch party. He was in a room with hundreds of supporters who watched the debate. And when he walked in,
That's so sick.
They cheered him on. And he did a photo line with them.
No way.
For some time.
No way. Let him run. I mean, honestly, dude, he did all that. That's crazy. I mean, he deserves it. Give it to him. Give him the presidency. Fuck it. You should let Trump know about this. I'm sure he'll drop out. You know? There you go. Here's the Turkish goal. Breaking news. 1 minute into the game. Fucking hell. Euro 24 rub. Oh, wait, what's happening here? Oh my God, bro. Twitter video.
ستنفذ أردا جولر يرسل لك كرة لافة خطيرة الله الماضية.
Okay, Arabic. Dude, Arabic sports commentary goes hard as fuck. That's so funny. Allah. That's awesome. Bro, that's some blue lock ass bullshit right there, by the way. Fucking corner kick that ping ponged in. Like, it's like you can't hit that if you tried. You know what I mean? That's crazy. W Turkey, dude. God is on our side, folks. We are punishing the Austrians for stopping us at the gates of Vienna.
Some of your colleagues had an opportunity to speak to these supporters. He did that, and that was something that he was able to do right after. And then we stopped at a Waffle House, as some of you all know, and spoke to a packed restaurant.
Bro, this is literally like you're talking about him like he's a baby. Like, yeah, that's right. And he put on his best suit and tie, and everyone said he was a handsome boy. That's right. And he went to Waffle House, and it was packed. So many people were eating waffles. And he said, I want a waffle with ice cream. And Jill Biden came and said, ice cream is for closers. And you didn't have the best night tonight, Joe. And Joe was like, oh, that makes me very sad. So Jill said, just kidding. You still deserve vanilla ice cream, Joe. And then they lived happily ever after. It's like you're describing like a baby. You're like, oh yeah, he was able to order all on his own. Sick. Okay. He should be the president forever, I think. Thank you.
Spent some time there. Then the next day, he went to North Carolina, spoke in front of hundreds of supporters there who said,
my God.
We support you, Joe. We love you, Joe. And so he was able to do that. In those 2.5 days or so after the debate, he went to 4 states and engaged with supporters, engaged with American people, everyday people, heard directly from them. And let's not forget, when we landed in North Carolina, I think it was like 2 a.m. in the morning, he engaged with supporters there as well. So the president has been out there. He's been listening to supporters. It's something that he loves to do, not just supporters, but American people out there, everyday people who appreciate what he does, who wants to hear more from him, as you just stated, and got that opportunity to do just that. I think it matters that he's going to do an interview on Friday. I think it matters that he's going to go to Wisconsin and do that, right? Engage with everyday people. We're going to continue to do that. Nothing has changed in that regard. We're going to continue to be out there. He's going to be in Pennsylvania as well this weekend, as I just stated.
And one more. We're reporting that Hunter Biden...
Bro, you literally just described like the bare minimum basic necessities of running a presidential campaign. Like, and you're talking about it like it's a fucking phenomenal accomplishment. She's like, oh yeah, he's speaking to voters. Like, damn, dude, this really changes my perception of Joe Biden being old as fuck. Like, that's crazy. Thank you, Karine Jean-Pierre. What else did he do? Did he wipe his own fucking ass? Congratulations. That's great. This surely is the phenomenal defense expected from the press secretary. I mean, god damn, she's so bad. Not to be like Fox News Andy over here, but she's like, she is really fucking bad, dude. She is really bad at her job. Ay, ay, ay.
He's been in some meetings with senior advisors. Why is the president's son involved?
So a couple of things I saw that reporting as I was coming out. So a couple of things there. Look, the president, as you know, is very close to his family. This is a holiday week, 4th of July. He spent time with his family, as you all know, and reported at
Bro, what do you mean? Oh, it's 4th of July? Like, let Hunter be president for one day? What the fuck are we doing? He's at work, dude. He's the president. What are you talking about? He's not just the president. He's the president running for re-election. He's not just the president running for re-election. He's the president running for re-election with a felon son who has been like persona non grata, public enemy number one by the Republicans for the longest time. And the greatest defense against all of that was always like, well, he's not in the fucking White House. Who gives a shit? Okay, what do you mean? Oh, he's just having a fun time with his son? Like, okay, do it outside of the White House, man. What the fuck? What do you mean?
Hunter came back.
Even fucking senior advisors are like, what the fuck is Hunter Biden doing here? What is going on right now?
With him and walked with him into that meeting, that speech prep. And
it's like, it was bring your kid to work day. His kid, 50-year-old former crackhead Hunter Biden. Like he ain't 14, man. What are we talking about? This ain't Barron Trump. He's like 50-plus-year-old. Like, what are you talking about?
You know, and he ended up spending time with his dad and his family that night. That is basically what happened. It is a week where there's going to be more family members who are going to come to the White House. I'm sure you'll see some of them on 4th of July. Many more are expected to be here.
No issue with family being in the White House. The question, though, would be, is he participating?
Your parents still walking on you playing video games, you can't talk? Yeah. Guess what? I'm not in the White House, and I'm not letting their asses in the White House, and none of them are fucking convicted felons who, like, have become public enemy number one by the Republican Party. Like, what are we talking about?
Participating in meetings with senior advisors.
What I can say is that he came back with his dad from Camp David. He walked him into the speech prep, and he was in the room. That I can tell you, he was in the room. Anything else coming out of that reporting, I can't speak to, but I can say that, you know, he's close to his family, which is not unusual. They were together at Camp David. They came back together. You're going to see a lot more family this week. Okay. Thank you.
Green, I want to go back to that question that Pelosi raised earlier today. Sure. Pelosi said it's a legitimate question to ask if this is an episode or is this is a condition. Which one is it?
Well, what I can tell you is that he had a cold and a bad night. I would not see this as an episode. I would see this as what it was and what we believe it to be, which is it was a bad night. And he did, on top of that, he had a cold. And that is the reality of the situation. That is the reality of what happened that night.
You've certainly seen the...
It's so funny to be like, oh, he just had one bad day. Like, how... Does anybody believe this at this point? I mean, I feel like this is another episode of failed manufactured consent. It's akin to claiming that Israel is the one that wanted to do a ceasefire, but Hamas is breaking it. You know? Like, everybody with eyes can see that that is an abject lie. Okay? Oh, it's just a cold. He prepared too hard. He didn't prepare hard enough. He was jet lagged. It's like, oh, it's just one bad day. Shut the fuck up. I did read his time interview on stream. That was not one bad day. That was many, many bad days ago. The problem is we've been knowing that Biden is fucked up. Okay? Like we've been talking about Brandon's mental faculties being diminished for quite some time now. The problem is like a shit ton of Americans saw it in broad fucking daylight. Okay? That's the issue. Like a lot of Americans who are not paying attention, who just don't really give a shit one way or another, were like, yeah, I'll tune in. I'll tune in. I'll give it a peek. Let's see what this Brandon guy's been up to. How's he doing? Oh my God, he's out of control. What is going on? This dude's fucking brain is leaking out of his goddamn ear. Well, that's not exactly one bad day. We needed this version of Biden with a cold.
The government isn't a great achievement.
Damn, he is sexy ass. Dude, he's got that sexy voice. He's got that like sexy flu voice, dude. Yo. Dude, this motherfucker needs to have a flu more often. He sounds like me on Instagram, dude. He's got the IG voice.
It's a bare minimum what we need to get done. But in these times, a bipartisan cooperation is worth recognition. So I want to thank Senators Schumer and McConnell and Speaker Pelosi for getting this done. Funding.
Being orange like the presidential version of red lightsaber. Yeah, here's Adam Conover's take on the matter. Adam ruining everything, including American elections. Friend of the show, Adam.
I simply do not understand how Joe Biden still thinks he can win this election. I mean, when you're running for office, there's two kinds of voters, right? There's your base. Those are the people who have your back no matter what. And then there's everybody else, the voters you need to convince. But you got to have your base, right? Well, my dad is a member of Joe Biden's base. He's a true blue Democrat. And he told me yesterday that after the debate, he no longer feels that Joe Biden can do the job of president. Not just beat Trump. He doesn't think that he can be president at all because he has declined that much. And you know what? Half of Democrats feel the same way and don't want Biden to be the nominee. This is the New York Times op-ed section from this week. Every single editorial in it is begging Joe Biden not to run. How are you supposed to win the presidency as a Democrat when you don't have the fucking New York Times on your side? I mean, when your own side is debating whether or not you should drop out, you've already fucking lost. I mean, read the writing on the wall, Joe. I simply do not understand.
Yeah, he's right. What Sammy is a protein bar. Dude, I brought to Croatia what I assume is an illegal amount of protein and zins. Like, whenever I go somewhere, if I'm not exactly certain that like I can have a steady flow of chicken breast, like I have to have all the supplementary shit. The amount of protein I brought in, I can open up a fucking GNC up in here. Okay? Like, if they stopped me at customs, they literally would have been like, dude, what are you doing? Like, this is illegal. Like, this is, like, normally, a normal amount of protein bars and a normal amount of protein snacks and a normal amount of protein supplements, that's fine. Like, you brought so many. Dude, I have like 8 Quest bars, like 5 legendary cinnamon rolls. Those are protein cinnamon rolls. 4 legendary Pop-Tarts. Those are protein Pop-Tarts. I have bags and bags. I think I have like more than 12 bags of Smart Sweets. So much. I have Quest chips. I have Twin Peaks protein chips, or protein cheese puffs, rather. I'm pretty sure I packed like 3,000 grams of protein with me. You won't poo for 3 weeks now? No, that's why I brought my fiber suppies too. I brought my fiber supplements as well, the Smart Sweets. Fiber suppies make me poop so easy. Be wary. Sugar alcohols can cause shrinkage of the cranium. Well, now we know why. Anyway. I think you saved my intestines next cup by recommending fiber supplements. I eat Smart Sweets. They're packed with fiber. Help me shit good. For the record, I love protein. Like, I love these protein bars and stuff. Like, this is literally a treat that I look forward to. Maybe I'm weird, but I'm legitimately a fan of the brands that I recommend and consume. Is your Pelican case checked luggage? No. I made the Pelican case. Murat's Pelican case originally was massive and had to be checked in. I made the conscious decision to like make a new Pelican case with a lot of the stuff that he had bought me, and made sure that that Pelican case was small enough that you can actually carry it on. Anyway. All right, let's get back to the Democratic governors reportedly holding a gripe session over Biden.
So Gavin Newsom, at 56 years old, has driven California into the ground. So this country would be falling apart if it was Gavin Newsom, if it was any of those other people on the call, Kamala Harris, you name them. Democrat policies are a failure. Republican policies win, which is why the country was so much better off under Donald Trump. And we need to be again, fingers crossed, God willing.
And Julie, but to this point, so the landscape is that the Biden team has refused to acknowledge the very prevalent questions about the president's mental acuity and fitness. We're sort of seeing almost a theatrical response, right?
Yes.
Oh, he's too pale here, he's too tan, right? We're seeing very discernible like things going into play. Okay, we're gonna do this and do this. And then against that, we now have the Democratic governors that had a gripe session. That seems unprecedented. And yet when you look at what's happening in real life, there is a very large theater occurring surrounding the president. And now apparently Democrat governors have taken notice too.
Right.
Are they worried?
I don't know. I am. I mean, unlike Biden and Lisa, I've never gotten a spray tan. But I'm pretty sure it doesn't affect your mental ability and your cognitive ability. I mean, Lisa's always been very.
Damn, she's fucking cooking Lisa a little bit too, which is kind of messed up if you ask me. She's like, I don't know what that's like because I'm not a fake bitch like Lisa.
very very sharp, whether she's pale or fake tan.
I agree.
I
more
just
effective
don't
when I'm tan.
understand what we can possibly trust. I think this really is just going to come down to trust. And he is like a ventriloquist, and he is not speaking his words. So what we are seeing in the White House and what we see every time he reads teleprompter, he no longer ad-libs. He no longer speaks off the top of his head, which is why that debate performed.
I'm sorry. I think it's fucking crazy to bring up stupid ass Lisa, who's like a fucking third stringer on the Fox News, when we're talking about spray tans, and not Donald Trump. Donald Trump is literally the king of getting spray tan. How the fuck are you going to shit on Lisa over here and not bring up Donald Trump? I feel like these guys have a literal contractual obligation not to disparage the fucking dear leader at any given moment, even by accident, even in fucking jest. That's crazy. These people criticizing Joe Biden for getting a fake tan is like the Democrats criticizing Republicans for being gay, okay? I like, that's just their thing, you know what I mean? That's your thing, you're gay. You don't get to shit on the Republicans for being gay.
Was such a disaster. He was prepped for days, and when you have mental decline, cognitive decline, it's very hard to memorize all of that. So when he has to speak off the top of his head, Tyrus was just saying to me that he's like the Milli Vanilli of American presidents, because the words coming out of his mouth are not his words, and that's the person you want to elect for president. That's scary.
He's a teleprompter
Yeah, Doctor,
president.
I want to get your thought on something specific, and it's about the canary in the coal mine. So it started with a while.
It's also funny because they were like begging Trump to read off the teleprompter because he's such a fucking animal when he's off of it. Milli Vanilli in 2024, boomer shit. Brother, every single person that's watching Fox News is 800 years old. They're literally Biden age, okay? And by the way, there's nothing more American than being a fat guy who makes fun of like other fat guys. And I suspect being old is the same. Like, they're sitting in the fucking retirement home, blowing each other's backs out, okay? Grandma's getting her fucking back blown out in between sessions of Fox and Friends, where they're talking about how fucking old Biden is. And they're like, yeah, he's so old. It's like, yo, put a fucking condom on, dude. You got like 8 different brands of syphilis. The fuck are you doing, Grandpa? Chill. I don't know why every single person throws up Haas when I talk about like retirement homes fucking all the time. It's like an established fact. Okay? What do you mean, what's wrong with you? I'm a motherfucking truth teller, bitch. What do you want? Yeah, old people fuck a lot. So much so, and they do it like without any protection whatsoever, because it's like they're firing blanks anyway, you know? Or rather, they're firing into blanks, I guess. So they don't actually get fucking tested, and they don't practice safe sex. So they just have like, they've like mutated new versions of gonorrhea and shit.
With, one late night comedy host saying like, guys, we need to shape up. We need to shape up with our policies, and this president's not cutting it. And now we've seen one by one, prominent Democrat Party officials or prominent spokespeople in the media that have started to raise serious questions, including CNN's Jake Tapper, who says there is a theater, a cover-up happening. What say you that the dominoes are falling?
Well, I think it's very disingenuous, and it's based on them thinking it's so obvious they better do something to show that they have integrity that they don't have, because this has been apparent for years. This isn't suddenly apparent now. To a medical eye, I've been talking about this for months and years. It's a cover-up campaign, and to your point, and to Julie's point earlier, it's being led by the Biden team. I mean, we can see that he's being led off stage. We can see that everything's read from a teleprompter. By the way, there's a long history of this in the White House, going back to FDR.
I love this guy fucking talking about it. It's like, bro, you're old too, man. Why is everybody on TV old? Am I crazy? I guess I'm old too, depending on who you're talking to, but god damn, dude. It's just like, get some young people in here. How do you know this? Because I fucked your mom and your grandmom at the retirement home. That's how I know about it. Straight up. No disrespect.
To Woodrow Wilson, to to Nixon, who was on a million medications. You know where this wasn't the case? It was not the case with President Trump, with Kayleigh McEnany in the White House. You walk in there.
That's also not true. President Trump's okay. Donald Trump is a Sudie boy. Okay, he's a big time Sudafed. He's a big time English market Sudafed eater. All right. So the idea that he's not like, you know, doing different kinds of drugs is silly. And not only does he do drugs, but his White House seemingly was filled to the brim with drugs in general. Like that one guy who ran for Congress in Texas and won. When it was the White House doctor, he was just prescribing barbiturates and shit, like going crazy mode. It was like, what do you want? Ketamine? I got you.
He talks extemporaneously. He's not reading off a teleprompter. I asked her when I interviewed him, does he need to see the question? She says, no, he just rip off the questions to him. That's what America is used to now. This is the exact opposite.
Bingo.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kayleigh McEnany on Outnumbered.
We come to you with breaking news and a serious question. Have the floodgates opened? Reported just now, congressional reporter for The Hill has a letter from a Democratic congressman calling on President Biden to step aside. It is Congressman Lloyd Doggett, a Democrat from Austin, Texas.
I'm going to turn on the lights in this room. I feel like it's ugly. That's why I turned the lights off. But here, I'm going to show you.
He's calling on the president to step aside, making him the first Democratic lawmaker to make such an assertion. And the rationale, he states, is interesting. He goes on to say President Biden has continued to run substantially behind Donald Trump in the polls. That is what he cites. And it comes after there was a letter. There were vulnerable Democrats, according to Politico, that wanted to come together and write a letter about their concerns about President Biden. But they were stopped by other Democratic lawmakers who said, let's wait on the data, let's wait on the polls. And they ultimately, according to Politico, basically did not have the guts to run with the letter. But now, today, we have the first sitting Democrat from Congress calling on President Biden to step aside. Will there be more? Have the floodgates opened? We'll keep you updated. Now, America Reports.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kayleigh McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.
And joining me now, we're pleased to have Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi join us. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for being here today.
Always a pleasure to be with you, Andrea.
So I guess the first question, we understand from our reporting, 4 different sources, that top leaders on the Hill have not yet had a call from the president. Have you spoken to President Biden since the debate?
No, I haven't spoken to him since the debate, but I have spoken to him regularly. And every time he has been on the top of his game in terms of knowing the issues and what is at stake. But we all have been in touch with people close to the president. So it's not a question of not having an opportunity to make our concerns known or have some questions answered. But I think we have to spend a little more time viewing what is at stake in this election. Today is the 60th anniversary of the Civil Rights Act. And what the Republicans are trying to do, the Trumpians and the court, is to undermine our democracy. Their Project 2025 would undo much of what is in the Civil Rights Act. What the court did with Roe v. Wade is very clear to people in terms of liberty and freedom.
Now they're talking about Project 2025, dude. Okay. Democrats woke up, dude. The man to fucking fight against Project 2025 is also 25 years old. Joe Brandon. Anyway.